you know, to give it context to some extent, Denny is one of our assistant trainers. Nate Bresky is our head trainer, and so just like anything else, that whole team, our medical team, they go through their exercise, mock exercises for things like this, but we are never around to see that when they do that. And as they say, practice pays off, and it did in this case. But again, the context of it, for an assistant to find himself at that position and needing to take the action that he did and step up and take charge like he did, and there were others on the field as well, is nothing short of amazing. And the courage that that took, like that is, you talk about a real leader, a real hero, in saving Damar's life, and just admire his strength.
I don't typically like using emotion to answer questions, but yeah, like the scene just replays over and over in your head, and there's, again, it's hard to answer that question and actually describe how, you know, I felt, how my teammates felt in that moment. It's something we'll never forget, but to know that Demar is doing okay, and I know there's still a lot of things and stuff that he has to process and continue to go through to get back to himself. We're just, again, we heard that news this morning, and there's nothing that could have been told to us to bring our day down. You know, we're extremely happy for him and his family. You know, we just want to love up on him. You know, so the next chance we get, I don't know when it's going to be. If we get to see him anytime soon, man, it's going to be awesome.
I'd like to thank a number of people. We'd like to thank a number of people. Before we get into your questions, as there have been so many people involved in Damar's situation, and if we leave somebody out, we apologize. First, I'd like to thank the first responders on the field this past Monday evening, and the medical teams of the Bills, the Bengals, and the staff, doctors and nurses at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center for their work and their care. Terry Pagula, the Buffalo Bills staff, coaches, and players, as well as their families who have all been affected and impacted by this situation. The amount of faith, hope, and love that we saw on display over the last 3 days has been nothing short of amazing. I'd also like to thank the entire Bengals organization, their ownership, and specifically Zach Taylor, his staff, and their players, and going above and beyond and handling the situation the way that they did. The officiating crew that was on the field, led by Sean Smith, and the way that they handled that situation with extreme poise and compassion certainly helped in the minutes that that situation unfolded on the field, in the minutes after as well. Both Roger Goodell and Troy Vincent and their leadership from the league office, as well as the NFL Players Association and Don Davis. Fans of both the Bills and the Bengals, along with the many other fans and organizations that we've heard from over the last 3 days. And then I'd also like to thank you, the media, for your respect and privacy and compassion, again, over the last 3 days as we've dealt with this situation and going forward as well. Finally, and just as important as anything, is glory to God for his keeping Demar and his family in the palm of his hand over the last couple of days, and his healing powers. With that, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah. His dad said the first thing that he's going to ask when he wakes up is who won the game. And sure enough, that's what he did, man. And as teammates, you love hearing that response, that the first thing on his mind wasn't, you know, poor me. It was, how are my teammates doing? Did we win this game? And that's powerful in itself, man. And I don't think people really understand the bond and the relationship and the brotherhood that you have as an NFL team, especially this one here. Guys love each other, and we really do. And for, obviously Demar to go through that and to come out on the other side and still, again, just think about his teammates, that's Demar. That's who he is, though.